Hey there lads and lasses, Jim Bob here. Upgrade was directed by Lee Whannell and stars Logan Marshall Green as Grey. Now, based in a distant future, which to me could exist within the same universe as Blade Runner. Interesting idea, but it's not the case at the moment. Now, I missed this sadly at the theatre due to me deciding to see The Nun in the week that it came out. And this film, being at such a low budget, didn't stay at the theatres very long at all. So it was taken off, and I missed the chance to see it, which I'm pretty gutted about. That's why the review is so late. But eventually I've gotten the chance to see it, and I'm actually really surprised. Like, this movie is pretty good. Now, it's not something I expected for me to like this much. It hasn't quite. I don't know whether it'll crack my top 10 or not. I haven't had a chance to analyse it properly and to give it a proper ranking. But for now, I'll just get into the details that I know. Now, Grey is paralysed in a mugging when his wife is killed by this gang, and he's out for revenge. Now, to get revenge, a guy puts a bionic implant in Grey's neck, and now Grey has control over something called STEM. Now, STEM can talk to him, give him different strategies to use around these people, and it's actually a really interesting concept. Like, Lee Whannell has done a fantastic job with this movie. Like, he actually come up with something from scratch. Like, him and James Wan have done work on original ideas before in the past, such as Saw. That was an original idea at the time, and it's really rare that I actually watch a film which is an original idea. Like, it's always taken from something else, or the plot is stole from a book or a comic book or just anything, but it's just not original. But this, finally, something original. Now, the plot is nothing original. For example, it's just an ordinary revenge story, like the film Revenge or Death Wish or John Wick. But it's done well. Like the idea within what it is done so well. This STEM computer chip, Grey can actually give STEM permission to take over his entire body. For example, if he's in trouble. Now, there's one scene in particular where he's having a fight with this guy. He's losing. He's getting choked out. He says, "STEM, I give you permission," and STEM takes over his entire body. And suddenly, this guy's a ninja. And now he's kicking the crap out of this guy, but it's not actually him that's doing it. It's actually STEM. And you can see the devastation on his face as he has to watch what he's doing to this man. For example, he's got control of his head. That's about it. But when it comes to his arms, his legs, and everything else, STEM is in full control of it. And luckily, he's mine at the moment. And it was so interesting just like to see something like this, because you don't get many original ideas anymore. Now, my only issues in particular with the film are, in fact, there's no other characters which are that remotely interesting other than Grey himself. Now, the film's pretty short. It only tops like an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. But there's not much more you can add to it, being just a revenge story. Now, if this were to be built into some kind of franchise, this very world that Upgrade exists in, I'd be interested in seeing something like that. That's why I said it could tie into the Blade Runner series somehow. These bionic implants could eventually become what will now to be replicants one day. Seriously doubt that'll happen, because I believe the first Blade Runner is based in 2019, which is next year. So I don't really know, and there's already replicants around by then. Now, another issue I have with the film are the villains are a bit one-dimensional and a bit weak. Like, they're just bad guys. They're bad because they're bad. There's no real ambition to what they're doing until there's a big reveal at the end, which actually blew my mind. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but it's actually such an interesting way to do it. Like, I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. But the main villain, who you think is the villain at the time, he strikes you as sort of the goofy henchman, who the bad guy. Now, other than some kind of weak characters and some weak villains, Grey himself as a character is written very well. He has a sense of story to him. You know that you actually feel sorry for this dude. He's lost his wife. He's out for revenge. He doesn't want to do the things that STEM sometimes makes him do. And he's in a constant battle to try and keep STEM under control. And I was blown away by this film. Not the best I've seen this year, but it's definitely the best I've seen in a long time, because I've seen a lot of films this year that are just okay. Like, there's been nothing that's actually blown my mind, other than a couple at the start of the year, like Infinity War, A Quiet Place, anything like that. And it's nice to see something else actually take me by surprise completely. Not just take me by surprise in the fact that, you know, that was okay, that was better than I thought it would be. This is a lot better than I thought it would be. It's an original idea. It's interesting. The action's great. It's filmed really well despite its low budget. And this film just proves that you don't need huge ass budgets like Star Wars or Marvel to make films good. Now I'm going to give Upgrade 8 out of 10 from Jimbo Talks Movies. Really good film. Not the best I've seen this year. And yeah, so that's all I had to say about it right now. Here's my question for you guys today. What's your favourite Lee Whannell film? Now, let me know down below in the comments. And as always, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.